Hi everyone, it's Bethany. Welcome back. In this video, I'm going to show you, first of all, a fun little collection that Concord 9th just released. They sent this over for me to play with and I instantly wanted it, but I'll tell you why. I instantly wanted it for the bows. I saw these bows. I have been wanting a cute little bow die in my collection, and I am going to inspire you with how you can look at dies and stamps in just a different way. Okay, so this is a beautiful collection. Look at the fun things that you can do with this. It's a little grocery tote. This is called the Grocery Greetings Dies. Isn't that pretty? So a variety of things that you can do. I am loving the flowers. How cute is that? And then here are our coordinating stamps as well. So we have wine soup tea, we have some thank you, greetings, a feel better, let's get together, miss you, and thinking of you. So very versatile collection, which is always so nice to have. But what I thought I would do is just take a tiny little snippet of this collection and show you how you can take something so small and create something really fun. Okay, so what I want to do first is grab a panel because I want to see how many of these cute bows I can fit on the front. But I do want to trim this down first. So I am going to grab my paper trimmer. Currently this is the standard A2 size, so 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. I'm just going to take a little bit of off. So 4 by 5 1/4. That'll give me a 1/8 inch margin. Okay. And I also do want to do some embossing on this. Oh, you know, I messed up. Hold on. I have found just within the last card that I've made that if I want to do some embossing, and don't worry, I'm going to keep this for another project because I always, probably 98% of the time, trim that down a 1/4 inch off the bottom and the right. So I will just use that for my next card. But I found in the last video that I was doing that if I want to do, if I want to use an embossing folder, then I like to use the 110 pounds. So let me trim this down really quickly. Let's see. This is a card base that I had ready to go, but let me trim that further down. So again, I'm going to do 4 by 5 1/4. Okay. There we go. I found that originally I was using 80-pound cardstock, prepping it with a baby wipe just to soften the paper a little bit, and then putting it through with an embossing folder, and I really liked that. However, in the last card making video that I did 110-pound cardstock. I did omit the wiping and wetting of the cardstock down, and I liked it even better. And I'll tell you why. There was, even when I was using just a very mild amount of the baby wipe and just dampening it ever so slightly, it still tended to warp afterwards. And even with the foam tape on the back, it still wasn't quite as crisp as I wanted to. So I tried this and I like it so much better. Okay, so grabbing, and head over to Instagram. There are so many creators doing beautiful things with this collection if you want to see this in its entirety. But I, again, want to play around with the bows. And I'm also going to set that to the side so that we can use that in a bit. All right, so I have 2 different options. I have a longer bow, and I know I don't think I'm going to use this because of the length of it for the idea that I want to do, although that's so cute. But I like this one because it's almost more square in nature, and I think I can fit more of them in. Yes, okay, so if I did 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, could I do a dozen? I think I could. Okay, so I am going to make this really fun and colorful, I believe. Let me think on that. I have to decide what I want to do, but I know I can fit 12 on there. So I'm going to move that to the side and let me ponder my cardstock color choices. Okay, I pulled 12 colors, and Forgive me, I don't remember each and every one. All Concord and Ninth, I'll place a link to their site so that you can check these out. Their website is very color accurate too, so what you see here is very accurate to what you're gonna see on your screen there. Okay, so I'm gonna set this to the side, and then let's grab, oh, where did the little die go? Okay, goodness, have that. And I am simply going to start running these through. So I'm gonna run them through in the order that I want to use them. And I'm only going to trim out the actual amount that I need because I don't wanna run through more than I need because my cutting plates are very, very scratched from being used. And I don't want these little imprints to press into my paper. So I always trim down just exactly what I need. So let me go through and do that first, and then we'll go through and trim everything out. Okay, so there are all of my color choices, and these are in the order roughly that I want to have them in. And this is actually a good opportunity to trim these down so that I can just make sure that I do like the color order. It's a little bit easier when you see big blocks of color than smaller pieces. So I actually really like that. So what I will do is grab my phone and I'll take a picture so that I remember the color order. Okay, so I have that off to the side, and now I can start running these through. So I'm simply going to, one by one, since I only have the one bow die, I'm going to run this through my little mini die cut machine. And I can just go once and then go back so that it goes much quicker. And I might need a pokey tool to encourage the tiny bow to pop out, but oh my goodness, how cute. This is gonna be so pretty. Okay, I knew exactly when I saw this die exactly what I wanted to do, so it's kind of nice to see it all come together. Okay, so there are all of my bows. I love how the color choice and placement turned out. So now what I want to do is I'm going to decide on an, excuse me, I'm still getting over a cold. I want to decide on an embossing folder that I want to use just to create some very soft texture in the background. Okay, so I have this little heart embossing folder. I'm simply going to place my cardstock. Once again, I'm using 110-pound cardstock within, and then I'm going to fold this shut, and I will go run this through my larger die cutting machine since it's bigger and can handle this surface area, and I'll be right back. All right, I ran that through. Go ahead and open that up. And there is my embossed background. Isn't that pretty? It's something that is really subtle and quiet, but it's gonna offer something fun because we're gonna keep this super, super simple. Okay, before I go ahead and add my bows, I do wanna go ahead and just put this on my card base. And because I want everything to stay really, really neutral so that we can keep the fun focus on the colors here, I'm going to do a white card base, and this is again 110 pound as well. I do want this to fold at the top. So I have 11 by 4 1/4. Place this right on in, and then I will score at 5 1/2. And I can fold, move this over, and press my fold there. All right, now what I'll do is I will just magnetize this open, and I'll grab some foam tape to add to the back of my panel. Now, talk about a scrap buster card. We did a scrap buster card last week as well. You really don't need much. These are about 1 inch by 1 inch, and that's after the cut just about. So about 1 1/4 inch squares. And I feel like most of us have all these little tiny cut pieces off of bigger projects. So go ahead and grab those, and you can create something super beautiful with very little paper. All right, so I did 4 strips there. And let's grab this little pokey tool once more just to help pull up the liners. And one thing I just thought of, which many of you probably wouldn't make this mistake, but as I'm still trying to get better from having this cold, I was just thinking I need to be sure that my hearts are going in the right direction when I lay this down. So I want to make sure that they are facing the right direction, which they are, but that would be just like me to accidentally do that. Okay, and I love how nice and straight that panel is. And because I did trim that down, I have that tiny 1/8 inch margin all the way around my card. Okay, so now, how do I want to approach this to get it nice and equal and even? So I think what I'll do is let's center this, and then why don't we, I think I'll just start kind of placing, and then we just won't do anything until the very end. Okay, so I'll just get these all placed where I'd like them. Then we can make some adjustments as needed. I already think I need to pull these down quite a bit. Oh, that's so cute. Okay, so I can probably, actually, I like the gap I have here and here. That's very equal, top and bottom, left and right for the most part. Maybe push those up a little bit. So what I just need to do is with these center ones, just bring them down a little bit to close those gaps a little bit. Okay, I need to play around with those just a little bit more. Let's see, like that. And okay, for the most part, I think that looks great. So what I'll do is, let me just bring those down just a hair. Yeah, let's do that. I'm going to use these tweezers, and I am simply going to add just 3 little dots of glue. Now you could, have these so that you just use a dot of glue and then maybe you made these kind of dimensional. I don't know, should I do that? Kind of like fluff them up a little bit so that they are more dimensional on the card. Oh, that could be really pretty. Okay, so I'm going to just make those. Let's see how that looks. First of all, we'll just do it with one. Just kind of bending it a little bit, kind of like a butterfly. or how a butterfly would, you know, look with their wings. Whenever I think of butterflies, I think of Alice in Wonderland and the bread. Do you guys remember that scene? Where is it the bread that becomes a butterfly? It is, okay. We don't need to go down the rabbit hole of how bizarre Alice in Wonderland is, but I cannot think of butterflies without thinking of the bread. Okay, so very, very slight there, just to give a little bit of dimension. I think that will be really cute. So ever so slightly bending, and I'm only adding glue right in this little center knot. Okay, so I did go ahead and grab my little sequins wand because it just helped me be able to press down in the little centers and make sure that that was really pressed onto the paper. I'm just going to fluff this first one because I was not as generous as I was with the other 11. So I'm just going to kind of fluff that up. Oh my gosh, I love how that looks. I think it's so cute. Now, the next thing that we could do, although I'm hesitant to do it because I really like simple, is just maybe grab a couple sequins to put in the center. And I'm not thinking on every single one, but let me see how it would look and then I can decide. I have this Aura sequins, and if we just put it right in the middle, oh my gosh, that could be so cute. Oh, that would be really cute. Should I do, I mean, would it be weird if I did it not on every single one? Or should I just do every single one? That one has no pretty holographic on there. Gosh, that's really pretty. I also have a gold disc that could be pretty as well. I think these, let's find the smallest one. I don't know how that would, whoops. If that would be too, oh goodness, that's really cute. Oh gosh. Too many options. I kind of like the original one only because it just keeps it very light and bright, and I feel like the other option, the gold, was just too much contrast for me and my style. So I am gonna add them to the middles. I think that'll be a really pretty final shine that could just be so pretty. Okay, so I'm gonna go through. I'm using only one size, and it is the smallest of the sequins, and I'll link this down below. It is such a, oh, that's pretty. And I'll hold the card up in a minute so you can really appreciate just how the light plays with that. Some of these are stuck together, so they're kind of bulky. Okay. Ooh, it's especially pretty on this nectar color. It takes on that color beautifully. But I like the sequins because it's fun, first of all, but it takes on every color so beautifully that it coordinates just about with everything. Okay, oh my gosh, that's cute. Okay, so that's done. Now, I want to look at the coordinating sentiments, not for the front, but I think it would be cute to do something on the inside. So, you know what? I'm gonna skip it. I'm gonna skip it. Yeah, okay, never mind. But you can stamp the inside. I actually get asked that quite a bit if I stamp the inside of my cards. I will tell you probably 99.9% of the time I do not. I don't know. It's not my thing. I love it, but it's not something that I do a lot of. What I do is turn this over though, so that I can add my little personalized stamp right to the back side. And ink that up. And place that right on down. Okay, in real time I'm at 43 minutes. However, I did take a 10-minute break to go kiss my little kiddos because one of them needed tucked back into bed and one of them needed a night-night kiss. So about a half hour to put this card together, and that also included time to grab all of my supplies and decide on my color choices. So that's a pretty accurate amount of time for how long this took me. So I love this. I think it turned out so cute. It's probably one of my favorite cards this spring so far. Can we say it's spring? Let's say winter. Oh gosh, it doesn't feel like a winter card though. So this is probably one of my favorite cards so far this year. All right, everyone, everything that I used will be linked down below. I love how that sequence plays with the light. And I love, again, it's so subtle because that color just takes on all of the colors. I mean, it doesn't match all of them perfectly, but it just coordinates so well with each one. I love how it takes on those colors so that it doesn't look too loud. It looks like it definitely belongs. So, okay, everyone, I hope you enjoyed this and I'll see you in the next video.